Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, it's Saturday, we're at the end of the week and at the end of WhatsMap. For a week. Don't worry, we will return. I'm going to be taking a short WhatsMap holiday just for 7 days. When I return, there'll be some brand new content, touch wood, if I get it all done, for the channel. So look forward to that one. And while I'm away, if you are missing my dulcet tones, you poor sausages, then there'll be plenty of content over on my second channel, BonBonB 2. Link is in the description. I haven't decided exactly what yet, but it won't be WhatsMap. But there'll be just something to keep you entertained if that's what you're looking for. Speaking of entertaining, today's map I find very entertaining. It's a creator we've done in the past. Remember Scatter Islands? Well, today's map has some things very much in common with that because it's by the same creator. Now, if you want to have some fun today, some proper fun, play BonBonBingo. Check off the memes as we go along. You could be a winner. And you could be a real winner if you partake, of course, in the daily reminder. That's right, because not hitting the like button really calls you a loser. The game calls you a loser. Grow up, Bonbon. Today's map is Liora Peninsula by Desarth. Desarth is back. Do you remember Scatter? I liked Scattered Islands. Scatter Islands. Sorry, that was the name of that map. I liked it. There's your start square. Big intersection there, but it's going to do a lot of the work for you. And looks good. Plenty of buildable space. Lots of flat buildable space on the map and some very interesting shaped mountains. Not to everybody's taste, I feel, but I like them a lot. Then you've got strong resources all over the map. Again, really good for a base game style play. And if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, we have all of the little fishies. Look at little fishies swimming around in little fishy water. Off to the workshop. What do we need? No DLC required today. No network extensions 2 required today. No broken map today. We'll be using the Liora theme mix using Theme Mixer 2 and the Relight 2 Alpine LUT. There's a really nicely written description with instructions on what to do. Some of this I wouldn't worry too much about because of things like the instruction to use the base theme European. Well, that automatically loads in anyway. So there are some things, and also realistic 1.4.5 European only has one R, unless you pronounce it realistic, like the Scandinavians would do with their rolling R's. I'd love to have a girlfriend with rolling R's. Her language, that is. One-click collection, all there. I'm using the old version of Daylight Classic, of course, for Cube Map. Okay, and down to ground level. It's a fairly aesthetically pleasing map, and I genuinely like the shapes of the mountains on the map. I like the mountains where they are. Where there are mountains, I feel there could be more, but we'll get to that in the second half of the show. It's not really a big grumble. It'd be a complete redesign of the map grumble, but the map as it stands at the moment, if you were to play, don't think me saying I would redesign the map makes this a bad map. It means it's not really suited to what I visioned the map could be. The map as it stands works and will definitely work for a lot of people because there's a lot of buildable space, a lot of unfussy space as well, and it looks good. So all of those things are in place, so we are probably on for a good solid build here. Heading down towards Start Square and the Start Square intersection. Again, it's a big intersection, which takes up a lot of space, but it'll handle a lot of traffic. And it's not as sprawling as it could have been. Of course, there is always that to consider. So yeah, we've got a good intersection there going into the Start Square buildable area, which is pretty flat. Also, it looks pretty flat to me. An interesting bit of coastline to build on as well. Plenty of good stuff going on here. Let's go underneath and have a look at the angle pillars here, perfectly placed in between the two highways. That's good work. Got the elevated rail running through here, which seems a bit low, but when you get to the crossing, it's high enough. It's very subtle. Is it finely polished? Probably not. Like we've got some of these shoulders where the slip roads and the link roads all connect into the highways. They could probably be a little bit more squished and a little bit more slick. They could be. They're not, but it's good for a base game play. and what we've got there is very solid standards. I'll go with solid. I think solid is a good word for the map. Now we're going this way rather than over the bridge because we have tunnels. I want to show these tunnels off because they are, once again, good solid tunnels with a little bit of detailing with the tunnel entrances as well. On this side of the map, mountain, sorry, I quite like that. That's solid work. Nothing to complain about there. On the other side, I think the two highway tunnel exits I would push a little bit more into the mountain. I think I'd do that. I understand why they've been stretched out that far to hide the vanilla tunnel exit, but it just looks a bit awkward. I think they're poking out a bit more than I prefer them to. Maybe it's to stop rockfall onto the highways. Probably that's a good reason. I don't know. Certainly, just aesthetically speaking, I'd like to see him squished back a bit more. But that's just me. That is just me. Doesn't make it wrong. Then the highway goes off to the edge of the map, all the way over there. Not too much to see over there. We'll come back that way in the second half of the show. There is one thing I want to take in over that way. Then we're over to the rail. Okay, right. Now, we do have a rail line here that splits off. Not quite catenary chaos, but it is... We'll give it the benefit of the doubt, shall we? I think we'll do that. Then it's a bit of a bumpy rail line coming up to the quarry. There's a pre-built old quarry there, quite like that. And of course, everybody's favourite factory. If only there was a way of carrying the everybody's favourite factory with you through life. It's a beauty, isn't it? Anyway, heading down through the mountain. Back the way we came and out to the side of mountain. To the side we go. And herring off now. Now, the rail does split in a moment. It gets a little and oddly going through the mountain again. I've got to say, tunnel through the mountain there. I think we would have gone around the edge. Just followed the highway a little bit more. It would cost a lot to dig that tunnel. Heads off to the edge of the map there. There's a few untidy looking connections, junctions in between. Untidy from a height. They look fine close up. And then we're going to go this way though, because we've got the bridge. We're only going to get one chance to view this bridge because there's lots of things I want to show you in the second half of the show which aren't this bridge. So this is the only time you're going to see it, absorb it, accept the magnificence of this bridge. Have you accepted it? Thank you. Good. Lovely. Somebody's going to grumble about the pillar in the middle of the rail. Yeah, I know there is. It's probably you. Go on. Stick your grumble in the comments. Nobody's listening to you. Like nobody's listening to me. I know you've got me on mute. I know. Anyway, we're going to hit the edge of the map in a moment, which will be time for the intermission. We'll come back, check out the shipping and the water flow right after this short message. About what, BonBon?
Everybody's favorite factories everywhere these days. Look, there's even one in the back of this hoodie. Want one for yourself? Then click the information button now. Come on, you know you want to.
Oh, everybody's favourite factory. Back to Liora Peninsula by Desarth. Got the copyright strike myself in a minute with my own song. It's probably the world's shortest, rubbishest song, but who cares, eh? Heading through with the shipping routes through the islands. Oh, speaking of through the islands, we've got a residual bit of a shipping route that was there. That, I've got to say, is good work. Not great work, because a great work would be removing it completely. But clearly they have discovered that before they uploaded it to the workshop and removed it. And a bow tie shipping route there as well. I like the bow tie shipping route. That's good. Water flow. We've got a good strong water flow going through. We did say we wouldn't see the bridge again. Sorry, showed you the bridge again. Good strong water flow. Here's your start square area, and we have good strong water flow coming down from the rivers, which we'll take a look at briefly. But yes, if you want that going through your start square, you've got moving ocean. Motion in that ocean. Loving the shapes. Okay, there's it's kind of iconic. Look at the curve, and the curve, and the curve. There's loads of curves. They're well known for their curves. We've got a curve there, and a curve here, and a curve here. In fact, quadrilateral island. Imagine this to be a rectangle, and it's just like pushing in the edges. It's very, very iconic. Desarth's own style, even there and here as well. Everywhere you look, you've got these curves going on. Except for here. This central islandy thing here, this is... in fact, the most interesting thing about this island is kind of like the peninsula, and this is probably Liora Peninsula, is kind of like raised rather than like tapered. That, I've got to say, is really disinteresting. Over this side of the map, I'm really liking the little lake there in amongst the mountains and the shapes of the mountains, and of course the textures as well. I think all work really very nicely. The river starts with some rapids, which is unusual. Don't think we've seen it before, so credit for that. And then we've got a river which has a few little problems. Let me show you. First of all, it splits here. Unnatural split, which is going to cause issues as well. It should naturally go straight on, I feel. Then it's quite straight for this little stretch here, and then it bends off to the right. Now, what happens with water flow from that point, though, becomes a bit of a problem, because water is trying to flow in a straight line in this game, and it bounces, and it bounces, and each time it bounces, it's going to cause a slight ripple. So I show you straight line, hit the edge there, so it bounces in that kind of direction, I feel, and then it's going to bounce in this direction, and then a bounce. So we've got some very slight rippling going on there. That is nothing compared to this river, which even from here, you can see the long curve there. Ripple, 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 loads of ripples. Get your ripples out, is what we're shouting. Yes, so it's just a long curve, and each time bounce, straight line again, and then about here we're going to bounce again, and they're going to go straight line again, and again we're going to bounce. Each time the rippling gets stronger and stronger. Now they have tried to resolve this. They've popped down a few controlling water nodes along that river. Oh, we've got the old drowned tree there wearing his trunks. But yes, they've tried to control it. It hasn't quite worked. It's the long singular curve that's causing it. There are mechanics you can do to try and avoid it, like having its S-bend all the way down. In fact, yeah, we could have a second river coming down, merge. I think we would shape all of this, and then maybe make this all solid land here and bring the mountains down here. I think I would have done that. I think we would have gone with a more swirly river going all the way down that way. Anyway, let's ignore the river. Oh, I could talk about rivers all day. This is a path to nowhere. Or is it a path to nowhere? The answer's no. It looks like it is, but it actually alludes to an old route up to the castle. Ooh, it's a castle. Right up there. That is a poorly placed castle. I can understand why it does not exist anymore. Let me explain more fully. Let's come over here. Right, you, me and Dave, we're fire archers for our army, okay? It's just us three. Now keep up, Dave, won't you? Keep up. We're going to attack the castle without being stopped. First of all, we need to get close to the castle, and we are quite a way away. Let's head up this valley here, because on our left here, we've got this hill that's going to protect us from view. So if we stick down to ground level and not actually fly, okay, because we can't fly, we're fire archers, not fireflies. And then heading up here to the top of the hill, then we can sneak around here. Nobody's going to see us until we get right above the castle. Nobody saw us approaching. Right above the castle, fire our fire arrows down. They can't do a thing about us because look, we're right up that cliff. They can't get us. So yeah, that's why that castle probably doesn't exist anymore. Also, the essential lighthouse. We have to point it out because it's a lovely thing. And orange. The best colour. If you like oranges. Back down to the start square, and we have the asset of the day. Now, this is all in Chinese, and I'm not going to try and do Chinese because I'm only going to upset 2 billion people if I do. So I will say Hongmi. Hongmi is the creator, and the translation for the top bit appears to be, according to Google, Beijing People's Daily. So Beijing People's Daily by Hongmi. Link is in the description because unless you've got like a lot of time to do stuff, to try and find this, yes, just follow the link in the description if you like it. It looks like it's got a carry handle on the top. I really love the design. This is actually one building unit as well, so both of them come as one. You're not separate. Factoids, because factoids. The city of Damascus even, has been continuously inhabited since 2000 BC. At about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Roughly tea time. Great shapes. I don't know if this says AI or IT when looked at from above, depending on which angle you look at it from, but very high tech anyway. Beijing People's Daily by Hongmu. Today's asset of the day. Really nice. Yeah, not a pack. That is a single building. You'll probably want service painter and stuff and lots of detailing on it to make it really come together. Anyway, what do you think of today's map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month. The Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen, or the link in the description. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple or a Patreon account. But what do I think of today's map? Well, aesthetically, I like it. I don't love it. I like areas of it. I like the areas around the outside, especially. It's when we get into the middle, it just lacks the magic and the vision that Desarth had in Scatter Islands. So yes, I think we're going to go 3 stars, and I'm going to push it towards the middly high end of 3 stars, because where I like it, I do like it. It's just a bit nondescript in the middle. Detailing, there's nothing much wrong with it. There are a few interesting areas on it, but it's not much more than a middly high 3 stars in total, so we'll go with that one. Gameplay, I'd probably push it a little bit higher, but for the lumpy river. So it's playable, it won't let you down, you probably have a lot of fun with it if you don't mind the lumpy river. Let's go slap bang middle 3, because it all balances. Liora Peninsula by Desarth. That one is, for me, not quite as magical. I'm using the word magical. Scatter Islands has a magical feel to it. This one, it was doing okay. It just lost its way in the middle for me. And if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Anyway, that's it for What's Map for a week. Don't fear, I will be back next week or the week after. Links are all in the description to the second channel. Do keep up with that one. And use the words of the day if you're still here to prove you're part of the 20 and out elite. And I'll be back very, 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 very soon. Have a great day.